Hi, everybody. Good morning and welcome to Travel Marketing Townhall for the month of July 2025. So I don't know if anyone else gets this, but I get a big, oh my gosh, we're halfway through the year. Where am I at with my goals? Am I almost there? Am I not there? Or if you know deep down inside that you're not, you think to yourself, where did the year go? How did that happen? And there feels almost a race or a sprint that you want to do to try and get everything organized. I feel like it's like almost like the holiday season when you panic to start getting everything ready for the holiday season. I have that mid-year as well. But at the same time, on the contrast, it's also summer and it's really easy, especially if you've got kids at home or you're traveling or your clients are traveling. It's really easy to slide into the it's summer after summer when the kids go back to school or after summer when work hours change. I'm going to do XYZ. And so I find it's almost like a mini hiatus that some business owners will put themselves in, while other business owners are going to be like, oh my gosh, I am halfway through the year. Where did it go to? So today we are going to be talking all about your business, and I'm going to be answering questions all about your business. I want you, if you have a question, to go ahead and to put it in the chat below. So you can either click on the button that says YouTube, it will pop you straight over to YouTube. You won't lose a single second. It just picks up where it's at. And you can pop your question in there, or alternatively, you can just type it in the chat if you can see the chat there. So I'm going to be answering all of your questions. Shayla says, we've been missing you. I'm still here. I show up every month still. I guess it just feels like a longer time apart now that it's monthly. But Shayla, if you have a question, drop a question, girl. I would love to answer a question from you. Hi, Renee. Same for you as well. So while I am waiting on your questions, we have some really big news. But I wasn't going to say it this morning, but I can't help myself. So I'll tell you anyway, because the email's going out today. We, after 8 years of business, are closing our doors on our current business offerings or model as you know it. And we have quietly and thoughtfully and intentionally been changing travel marketing and media behind the scenes. It's almost like the entire cake is going to change, but the frosting will be exactly the same. So it'll look similar, it'll feel similar, but it's going to change. So let me tell you why we made the change, what the change is, and how it impacts you. And nobody loses, so that's the good thing. We're not going anywhere, so that's another good thing. But it is very, very, very different. It's going to look and feel very different starting this afternoon. So for the last 8 years, we have served all of our marketing material says over 42,000, but we are now over 45,000 travel advisors, travel agents, and agencies. And it has been the most magical ride. This business started in 2018, January of 2018. Well, kind of we started in 2017, but we didn't really get momentum until the January of 2018. So we started December of 2017. So that would make it 3, 5, 8 years in December this year. And we have served over 45,000 travel advisors. And for the majority of that time, minus the pandemic, you would have seen us going from conference to conference. I was everywhere. I was booked on stage 15, 20 times a year. And it was a lot. And then when I had Houston, I slowed down a little bit and we went more to like an online version. The pandemic, when it first happened and they told us you need to sit on the couch for 2 weeks. That's what our governor told us. 2 weeks. We had a mask mandate for 2 years in California, but the governor said 2 weeks. I wasn't sure how it was going to impact the travel industry. And so I decided, oh my gosh, I don't know how it's going to impact my business. I kind of actually do know how it's going to impact the industry because it was a stop of travel. But all I knew is that I had to be there for everybody because, well, one, I wasn't going anywhere, so I had no reason not to. But two, I couldn't imagine what it would be like to be a business owner at home by yourself. And I'm acutely aware that a lot of our audience are by themselves in more ways than one. So you work by yourself, you're in your business by yourself. Some of you do have jobs that are remote or that you go to, but for the most part, you don't really have anyone to talk to about your business. So I talked to Anthony about it and I said, do we just go on hold while nobody's traveling? It's 2020, it's March. And he said, no, let's show up. It might be a minute before their businesses go back to normal. It could be a couple of months. You never know. Little did we know that it would be a couple of years before your businesses went back to normal. But 2020 and 2021 were the biggest, busiest years of our business, more so than 17, 18, or 19, because y'all had time to learn. You had time to be at home, time to learn, time to dig in and work on your business instead of in your business. You didn't have clients traveling. So the only thing you could do was to start to lay the foundations. And what we saw come out of the pandemic were not only tens of thousands of travel advisors and agents and agencies signing up for our courses and our programs, we saw them growing. We saw them improving their foundations. Now, it didn't become evident to them until the pandemic sort of settled down and people started traveling again at the same volume, how much busier their businesses would be. Enter 2023 and 2024. Now, in these years, we got more requests for a certain kind of offering than we have ever had before. Now, we've always had requests for this, but we've always said, sorry, we can't really help you. And we tried. If you've been with us since 2017, you'll remember that we did try. We did test. We didn't try and fail. We tested and we were never ready. And I'm glad that we did that, because it was kind of like trying on that pair of jeans that you look at it, or that dress that you look at it in Macy's and you think, oh, this will be great for me. It's my style, or it's something that will cover those arms or do whatever it is I'm trying to do. But every time we tried on the dress or we tried on the jeans, we were like, oh my gosh, I'm glad I tried these on. These are not for me. So the request that we got was, I don't have time to take courses. I don't have time to do masterclasses. I don't have time to do workshops. Can you just do it? Or can you recommend someone who can do it for me? And by it, we mean marketing. And we always said, let's try. I can't even remember all the times. I was literally sitting there last night chatting to Anthony about it. And I said, oh my God, do you remember that one time we tried Facebook ads? We ran ads. We ran them successfully for a client. The onboarding process was smooth. The ad running setup was great on our end. We dug in, we learned our content, we trialed it on ourselves. We practice everything on ourselves first. I kind of wish that pharmaceuticals and sugar companies would do that, but we test everything on ourselves first. And then we test it on some clients. And then we decide if we're going to roll it out to a small group of people. And then only then would we roll something out to everybody. Oh, we did Facebook ads, we did Google ads, we did Google Business Setup, we did LinkedIn services, we did LinkedIn ads, we did a whole lot of things. And the only thing we ever felt comfortable doing was web design. So the other thing that we wanted to have, but we never had it, other than those one-on-one services, was a bigger permanent team. And I'm really pleased, because over the last few years, we built that, we grew that. And it's because we have incredible people working at TMM. Amazing people. For those of you who don't know, 3 out of our 3, I would say 2, kind of 3 full-time team members. So one works 4 days a week right now until the end of this month. And then the other 2 are full-time, are in South Africa. And as many of you know, we just got back from South Africa, and we've had the chance to work with our team in person several times this year. And we couldn't ask for a better team. Our team has been with us for one person for 5 years, 5 or 6 years, another person for 4 years. We have people who will fly in and help us here in the US. When I say fly in, they will literally fly to Paris, fly to Amsterdam, fly to Budapest when we need them. You see them at the River Cruise Expos, you see them everywhere. And those people, one of them's been with us for the full almost 8 years, another one for 7 years, and another one for 5 years as well. So we re-evaluated at the end of 2024. We chatted to a bunch of you in person in March, and we said, let's try it again. Let's offer a service, a marketing service that you don't want to do, that we could take it off your plate. And guess what? It's amazing. It's amazing. And I don't know what it is. I don't know. My face smiles, not just my teeth and my lips, but my heart smiles when I talk about it, because we have the most phenomenal clients. We took a small batch of just under 15 clients and put them on one of our VIP services, where we take the marketing off their plate. And they gave us, some of them signed up for 2, some of them signed up for 3, and they all signed up for at least this one service. And we're doing it for them. They fill in the onboarding form, they'll approve a couple of things, and that's it. And some of them just filled in an onboarding form. And we started seeing the results coming through. Their traffic is growing, their impressions are growing. We were able to grow one person's impressions on Pinterest from 945 to 1,800 in 30 days. And we were able to grow their engagement by 72% because we have the experience, we have the time, and we have the knowledge. So, in a nutshell, TMM is transitioning to a full marketing agency. We now have about 6 done for you services. You'll learn about them this afternoon in your email. And not everybody will be ready for them. Not everybody will be ready financially. Not everybody will be ready emotionally to let go of their marketing. Some people are literally throwing us their marketing and being like, here, take my money, take my marketing, and just do it for me. And we've really, really enjoyed the testing process, and we're so glad. And I think that this is true testament to sometimes things are for you and sometimes they're not for you. And when something is not for you, you should walk away from it. You should walk away from it. There's a difference between tenacity and persistence. We have tenacity and persistence in our business that we push through even in rough times. But there is a difference between also just knowing when something is for you and when it's not for you. So I will send out that email this afternoon. The good thing is that for those of you who are not ready to hand over your marketing, and there are only 2 reasons that you're not ready, 2 possible reasons. You might have one or both of them. Firstly, we have an amazing quiz. I've been taking the quiz over and over and over again and checking it, and I'm floored every single time by how spooky accurate it is. We have an amazing quiz coming out this afternoon asking you 7 quick questions. It'll tell you whether or not you are ready to hand over your marketing. And when we say hand it over, not the whole thing, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 services. And if you're not ready, here's the best bit. If you're not ready, it'll be because you're not ready for one of 2 reasons or both. It will tell you what you have to do before you're ready and how long that will take. And for those of you who are not ready to hand over your marketing, all your courses will still stay where they are. We're still coming to do Townhall every month. We'll still do master classes. We'll still do workshops here and there, the free training. We'll come back for another season of the podcast, which I'm really excited about. Season 3, there'll be shorty episodes, which is cool. And to prove that to you, we even made up my little studio a little bit. We are staying for the free content and the free training. But yeah, it's time for a change. And then the second big part of it is that we are now extending out to non-travel businesses. So if you have a friend, a family member, a neighbor, a school parent in your church community, you have a business that is not a travel business, our sister agency will be offering exactly the same services, exactly the same trainings, coaching, everything from a different website, of course, because I always tell you when you have 2 different ideal clients, you separate them and do different marketing for them. So that is our big news. It's super exciting, and I'm glad that we are doing it. Michelle says that is when we joined TMM. We used COVID to pause and focus on our business and branding. And I think that's in alignment, Michelle. It's in alignment with how we feel and what we did. Renee says, will it affect our all access pass? Will we still have access to it? Absolutely, it will not affect it. It'll still be there. And in fact, that was another piece of news that I wanted to share with you this morning, is that the all access pass, we opened it this morning. If you haven't signed up, if you want to come back, we have 2 new components to it on top of everything else. Three. We have email sequences that you can copy and paste into your email platform. Those are coming out in the next few weeks. We have extended email sequences. You know that we already have like 5 or 7 in there. We also have some one-on-one services built into all access. And before you say, Sandra, there are hundreds of people on all access, how are you going to do that? That's like I said, we've never been in a position to do more one-on-one until our team was solid, and our team is super solid. So as part of all access, we're going to do a website review. So if you want us to review your website and make some suggestions for change, we're going to do that for you as part of all access. It's one-on-one. So I will give you more information about that. I think it'll probably be next week that we'll send out that email, if not the week after. And we're also going to do what's called a personalized playlist for everyone in the All Access Pass. If you want it, you'll fill in a quick little form, tell us more about your business so that we can personalize it, because it's not the same for everybody. So you might say, this is what I want to specialize in. You don't even have to specialize in it yet. this is what I want to specialize in. This is what I want to sell more of. This is what I don't want to sell more of. This is what I'm attracting now. This is what I'm not attracting now. These are the type of quotes I'm getting or proposals I'm getting. And we will create a playlist for you of all the content inside of All Access and what you should be using and what you shouldn't be using and how to use it. So that's super cool because it's individualized to your business goals. So if you're getting a lot of all-inclusive resorts, 7-day cruises, and you don't really want that because you want to sell ocean cruises because you want to sell more river cruises, or if you're getting in a lot of budget travelers and you want more luxury travelers, we're going to help you out with that. And then there's also a number of blogs that are coming into All Access in the month of August. And they are really to help position you as somebody that people just can't book their trip without. So they are regardless of niche, and we've got some recommendations on how you display those specifically on the homepage. So that is all that we wanted to share this morning. I want to answer your questions. So I'm going to start with Shayla's question. Hola, amiga. She says, Sandra, I finally launched a brand new website to attract luxury clients. However, the service fees were not added back to the new site. Should I add them back or tell the client when we chat? So this is a deeply personal answer. I'm going to give you an answer. Don't worry. I'm not going to be like, it's up to you, girl. I'm going to give you an answer, Shayla. But this is a very personal feeling that people have about it. So before I tell you my answer, can I ask you this? Oh, Anthony gave me my microphone and it's sitting right here. So let me pop that on without exposing my belly because nobody needs to see that this morning. Shayla, let me ask you and everybody else, can we take a little poll actually? Can we take a little poll? When you go to a website for any service professional, and you can just put your answer in the chat, do you want to see pricing, or would you rather have a conversation because you want the price that they give you to be personalized to the need that you have? So, for example, 2 weeks ago or last week, it might have even been, I'm looking for a new dentist. Okay. I'm looking for a new dentist because my dentist and I need to break up, and my dentist is on the other side of town. That's not why we need to break up. I just don't like going there anymore, and we're not really aligned. I'll leave it at that. We're not aligned about the world. And my dentist is a talker. She loves to chat. And it's at the point where I can't lay there for an hour and listen to it. I'd rather just not hear it. I don't expect everyone to have the same values as me, but we've talked about it. I've said to her, girl, can you ease up on this stuff? I don't want to hear it. And she's like, but everybody needs to be educated. So anyway, needless to say, you all know my political views. I can't be going to my dentist anymore. So I'm going to a dentist now that is closer to where I live, which is more convenient. I need to move Houston as well because that was his dentist. And one of the things that I was looking for was somebody near where we live, because Houston, oh my gosh, y'all, Houston's starting elementary school. I'm so excited. I don't understand, and maybe some of you can tell me in the chat, as a mom of a new elementary school child, why is summer so long? He finished up TK May 2nd, and he doesn't go to kindergarten until September 2nd. I hope this is not indicative of every year. This mama is struggling with summer. But anyway, I started looking around dentist websites, and I couldn't find a dentist with pricing on there. Now, I expected to see starting from, but I was really just looking for how much are my initial x-rays, because you have to have x-rays when you start at a new dentist. Well, at least here you do anyway in LA. And secondly, what am I looking at just for a clean, like for my every 6-month clean? I don't expect to see diagnostics or any deeper dental work with those pricing, but I expected a starting from price. So let me know in the chat, how do you feel when you look for a service? Because y'all, I looked at a good 20 dentist sites. There are a lot of dentists in my neighborhood. And I couldn't find one that I liked that was for me that had pricing on it. So then I had to sign up a form, and it asked me a whole bunch of questions, which I just don't feel like they are necessary to get the answer that I want. How much are your x-rays and how much on average is a 6-monthly clean? I had to give a lot of my information. The form forced me to fill in my address, my phone number, my email. When I called, they asked me, just fill in the details and we'll have someone get back to you, because I answer the phone and I'm not the best person to guide you through that. We have a really great process for that. And I had to give a lot of information before I got that information back. And I had to give my time. That was probably the thing that I was most disappointed in. Now, it turns out that this particular dentist that I chose, it's called Smile Buddy. It's a holistic dentist. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful in their values, in their processes, in the way that they work, with the exception of put your pricing on your website, people, because it would have just been easier. Now, do I love the initial x-ray cost? I do not. It's $700 for x-rays, but it includes other things as well because it's a holistic dentist. After that, the clean is on par with what I'm paying now. Actually, it's $30 less every 6 months. So in the long run, it's going to work out to be about the same. And they also do sedation services for bigger things. Great. That's all I needed to know. You know, when I worked in corporate America, many of you know that I used to work in the cruise lines. I would leave these meetings, especially when I worked at Royal Caribbean. I love Royal Caribbean, but I would leave these meetings of senior leadership in Miami, and I would leave after a 2-hour meeting, and I would think, that could have been an email. You ever go to a meeting like that where you leave and you're like, that could have been an email? That whole process could have been a website page with your starting from prices. Could have been a website page. If you feel like the $700 initial price point, that initial consultation, x-rays, full mouth check, health questionnaire because it's holistic, is sticker shock for people, then do a better job explaining to people what it includes and why it's valuable. Because I'm all in to pay that now that I know what it includes. If it was just regular x-rays, I'd be like, y'all are thieves, because my regular x-rays don't usually cost that much. So I am very curious to know. So let's have a look here. Shayla says, I personally want to know about the freeze up front. Jamie, good morning, friend, once says, I like to see at least a starting price. That's how mine is set up. Rebecca, hi. She says, I want to have a starting price. Gigi says, I'd like to see fees or at least starting from, just in case it's way out of my price range, right? I feel the same, Gigi. Why is that? Because we're all afraid of being embarrassed. We're all afraid of being, well, not all, many of us are afraid of feeling like you don't fit somewhere. I didn't want to call a dentist and they have a $2,000 x-ray because I can't afford that. I can't afford that. Do I have $2,000 in my bank account? I believe so. Do I want to spend it on my dentist for an x-ray? No. So that would stop that conversation from having to happen and me feeling uncomfortable about it. Barbara says, I need to see prices. Michelle says, I prefer price. Canada, we can't do a starting from price. Oh, that's interesting, Michelle. I didn't, Laurie, sorry. Oh, hi, Laurie, sorry. I didn't see your name there. She says, we cannot do a starting from price. I didn't know that. I would love to understand that. With fees, it gets rid of budget shoppers. Good clients will see the value when you add what's included. Yes, ma'am. So, to answer, Shayla, your question, my friend, I would add back in your fee page. I would add it back in. I would explain what is included in your fees. And here's where I think the majority of you go wrong with your fees page, unless you did website in a weekend or unless we did your website for you. Your fees page has to describe, for people who have never used a travel advisor or a travel agent, what that includes. It has to describe everything that you do for them. You cannot assume that people know that you can get them tours into places, experiences. They don't know that when they go on the Nile in Egypt, that you can match them with the right partner, the right supplier, the right tour operator to get them into the Valley of the Kings when it's closed at night. I didn't even know until last week that one of the cruise lines did that. I cannot imagine what it would be like to cruise in summer when it's so hot, when it's like crazy, crazy hot in their peak, 112, 114 degrees. We were in the Valley of the Kings during the daytime. I didn't know that a travel advisor can get me that kind of experience to visit at night. I just thought that was off limits to everyone, right? I didn't know until I had the experience that a travel advisor can get me a private breakfast in the Vatican Garden before it opens in the morning. It's a magical experience, by the way. I want to do it again. I want to go have breakfast with Leo, though, with Pope Leo. So you have to list out airport transfers from your home to the airport. I want you to list out that you can, in select departure cities, if you do luxury, high net worth, high luxury travel, that you can arrange airport meet and greets, airport behind the scenes. Do you know I did a service where I got escorted in an airport? They met my car at the curb and they escorted me through the airport. And I didn't even go through, I went down into a car all the way to the tarmac and got into the plane and went up the stairs. I didn't even go through the airport. I literally didn't even go through the airport. And I didn't pull in at the terminal. I pulled in at a small building before LAX. It was a unique experience that they wanted to offer me so that I could write about it. And I didn't even know that those services existed. A lot of them wouldn't know that you do villas, that you do these like mega villas, that you can book yachts, that you can book private charter aircraft, that you can book ocean cruising, that you can book luxury river cruising. A lot of people don't know these things, that you can book sporting tickets. I know travel advisors. There's one travel advisor in particular. Is it Kimberly? I can't remember. That can get me tickets to Wimbledon. And bet your bottom dollar, I'm going to her. I am going to her when it's our time to go to Wimbledon or to the French Open or the Australian Open. And I know that she will not just take care of the flights. She'll take care of the accommodation. She'll take care of the transfers. I know that she'll get the tickets. She'll get the tickets sorted because she specializes in sports travel. It's one of her specialties. So it's very important on your page that you list out everything that you can book. It's also important that you list out what you don't book if you get a lot of inquiries for specific things like Airbnb or timeshare or ride car share, that kind of stuff. Like if there's stuff that you just don't want to book. So all the services, write this down. Go check your services page, please. Have your planning fees. Have all the things that it includes. Day tours, theater ticket, whatever it is. Have all your services, travel insurance. Oh my goodness, matching you to the right travel insurance policy. All of those things. Consider the different types of services you want to offer. For those of you who haven't done it yet, Flora, can I get you please to put a link in the chat directly to, actually, I can pull it up because I know exactly where it is. Don't worry, Flora, it's all good. My team is crazy busy in the background today, but I know that they're listening. I have on our website, I have a free how to charge planning fees course. It's not even a course. It's like a little masterclass. It's free. I want you to take it if you think that your planning fees page needs to be redone or fixed, or if you just think it could be better. Okay, I just put the link in just here. And I'm going to start that. Okay, so I've just put that in just there. And I want you to go and take this because I show you what a good services page looks like. I give you recommendations on fees. I help you with your wording on what to say. I tell you how to announce it or not. And talk you through the entire process. And this little baby course, it's one of our best courses that we offer, and it's free because I feel like for those of you who are not charging enough, if you're charging less than $250, you need to go and watch this course. Right now, I would say that you'll need to be looking at a starting price of $350 per household for your planning fees. If you were doing everything for them, $350. You could do, I saw one the other day that I really liked on one of our clients' websites, and it's $250 without flights and $350 with flights. I was like, okay then. Okay. So I hope that helped just there. I want to know who else has a question that I can answer. I loved that question. Add them back for sure. I also have an article on my website. I'm pretty sure I do, but I'll check it. And if so, then I'll make sure it goes out to everybody about having a quick consultation with someone first, like a 15-minute quick hello, I call it. And then after the quick hello, sending over all the onboarding fees. If you have the all access pass, please go and take a look at the onboarding kit. It's inside of your all access pass. It's totally included. It's so good. It is our number one downloaded piece of content in history in 8 years because it is the most helpful tool that we have to somebody who is trying to find a way to better onboard their clients. And so in that, we talk about how we recommend a 15-minute quick video chat or a phone call. you listen to what they're asking for, and then you tell them yes or no that you can help them. And then you either explain your services and your fees, or you send it over to them. And then they have a link where on your website, oh my gosh, we've been setting up so many of these lately, especially for people who did website in a weekend or whose websites we built, where because we build on Wix, which is amazing, our own site is on it. It has this thing called Wix Booking, where you can literally, they can make the appointment for your 15-minute chat. You don't even have to have Calendly anymore. For the 15-minute chat, they can make the appointment. Then they can pay in a separate transaction. They can pay your planning fee and then choose a time for a planning meeting, a 60-minute, 45-minute planning meeting, and it's all automated. You don't even do anything. So if you have a website that's from our community, our sphere, our village, and you want to add that, then absolutely let us know. You just don't have to have everything. So let me check and see if I have any questions. Y'all can ask me anything. Shayla says, thank you for all this feedback. I will get it done today. You're so welcome. I just think it's so important. Sheila, yeah, type your question in, friend. Shayla says, I charge $249 per person, and if it's a group, $349 per person for solo travelers. Love it. Okay. Oh, Jamie says you missed my question. Okay, let me go back up. Question. Here we go. Right here. Thank you. What's the best way to introduce a new niche? And for my website, can I have just one page site with my current website? Can I have just a one-page site within my current website? Oh, a one page within your site. Ma'am, I need to know what the two niches are, and that will determine my answer. Some niches go well together. Some niches do not go well together. And the answer is literally, you need to have a separate site if it's two niches that don't go together, and if it's two niches that complement each other. And I'll tell you how I get to that. Then they can absolutely go on the same website, and you can just insert a page. So easy. Just insert a page, new page. So easy. So, let me see. You go ahead and let me know that. Oh my gosh, Sheila, I love this question. Okay, and Nelson, I'm going to answer those two while Jamie comes back to me. Okay. Shelia. I've got Shayla, Sheila, and Shelia on the call. Shelia Robertson. I'm not motivated anymore and not sure if I want to do travel anymore. Any advice? Oh, my friend. Firstly, I have goosies on my arms for you. That is huge to say it out loud. But this is a really great space to say it, because people hear, and I'm going to ask everybody to do this for me and do it for her. If you have ever had that feeling in your business where you have doubted whether you should still be in it, please put a comment in the chat. Tell us what it is that triggers that feeling, and how you work through it, how it impacts you, and how you move out of it, or if you're still in it. Because I really want Shirley to know that she's not alone, because I know that a lot of you feel this way. I know individually, I can look at the names on here, and I would never, but I can call you out on here. And I can see I know that a lot of you feel that way. So I want to first tell you, I feel that way often. And I have felt that way about travel marketing and media for the last 3 years. Not sure if I should still be doing it, because most days, 95% of the days are amazing. 95% of the people we work with are amazing. But 5% of the days, my friends, are rough. 5% of the people, not even 1%, are rough. They're hard. They're really, really hard. And I'm a very sensitive person, and I come across as very confident, and I am. But I think that it serves me to explain and to reiterate, there are confidence in different areas, and what you see on television of me and what you see on stage of me and who I am behind the scenes are exactly the same person. But you wouldn't know from seeing me on stage that I am very sensitive, that I'm a big crier. I'm an ugly crier too. I'm like a Viola Davis crier. That I'm very sensitive, that I am easily triggered, and that the smallest things, like people writing in caps with 10 exclamation marks, shouting on email, to me is really difficult to process. That constructive feedback, when it's written the way that some people write it, comes across more as keyboard warrior trolling and not constructive. We have made so many mistakes, so many mistakes. We have made people wait for things for too long. We still do that, and we're still just trying to do better. We are just humans. The bigger your business gets, the more perfect you become, said no one ever. And there are days where I see and feel that, and I just don't want to do it anymore. And it's so crazy because, like I said, over 45,000 travel advisors and travel agents that we have helped over the years, over almost 8 years. And you would think that, and I would count them, I would say they are less than 50 people out of 42,000. I'm no mathlete. I was never invited to be in the math club. Houston School has invited him to be in the math club for kindergarten to grade 2 or grade 4, I think it is. And he hasn't even started the semester yet because they know how smart he is. I was never invited to be part of the math club. So I don't know what percentage that is, 50 people maybe, who have gotten to me, like to the point, Anthony won't come on camera and say hi, he just walked up. But Anthony, you can use your voice. I'm gonna put you on the spot, Mega. Just come closer, but don't come on camera because y'all hear in his pajamas. Yes, I did. So tell everybody, when we have had challenging clients in the business, am I able to let it go and just be like, whatever, some people are just like that, or does it impact me? Tell them the truth.
Oh, it impacts you.
To what extent?
To no end, because you always want to make sure that everybody's happy with the work that's been done for them. But sometimes some clients are difficult, and you can't always satisfy everyone.
And do I take it in personally, or do I just let it roll off?
You don't let that one roll off.
Because I can't.
No.
Have you seen me cry over it?
Yes, absolutely.
Have you seen me want to quit?
Oh, absolutely. Sometimes I want you to quit.
Oh, and there it is. So the reason I'm sharing this with you is because someone has just asked, I'm not motivated anymore and not sure if I want to do this anymore. Any advice? I just wanted you to know, I feel it. I get it and I feel it. And what I want any of you who feel it to ask yourself is the very first question, and write this down if you feel this, and especially if you're feeling it right now, write this down. What is your trigger? What triggers this feeling? For me, what triggers the feeling is when we have clients or audience members who are just mean to the core. Things that they would never say to my face that they'll say on an email or they'll say in a Facebook group about me. Mean. That triggers me. The other thing that triggers me is when we have people inside of our community take what they've learned and go out and start serving the same audience with what they've learned. Another thing that triggers me is when people steal our work and sell it themselves. Those things trigger me. So those are the things that happen right before I get the feeling that I have that I don't want to do it anymore. When business is slow, we've been through a couple of times, especially in 22 and 23 were our hardest years of business. They were the worst. We literally dropped down to 25% of our revenue. Enough to pay the bills. We've never had to let anyone go. But in 22 and 23, I did not pay myself. I used my savings, and I lived off my savings for 2 years so that we could pay our team, so that we could not let anyone go. So those are all the things that trigger me, and they give me that feeling of I don't want to do this anymore. So how do I pull myself out? I have a good husband. I have good friends. And one of my friends told me, she said, if you could start with $40, this beautiful business serving over 45,000 people, making millions of dollars when you add up those 8 years together, if you did it one time, you can do it again. If you wanted to start fresh and do something again, you could. But you probably don't want to start fresh because you love all those people except for those 50 people. You love the rest of them so much and you care so deeply about them. So those are the things, that's how I feel about it. Here is what I want to tell you though. Eleanor Roosevelt said, the beauty believes in people who do not give up on their dreams. Or the future lies in people who do not give up on their dreams, or something similar like that, but similar, you know the vibe. I believe that some people should quit their dreams and start new dreams. I believe that there comes a point in a business where if you are not profitable 2 years in to your business, you really need to stop and ask yourself, is this the right business for me? Yo, I've never said this before, but it's actually scheduled to be my first podcast topic coming out the gate. It's going to be a bit heavy. Anthony's like, please don't do that. That's like a death podcast episode. Wait till episode 5. If you are not profitable in your business, i.e., you are not paying yourself profit, and it's okay if you're just paying yourself a little bit because maybe you have a full-time job, but if you're not profitable, if you're not paying yourself a monthly salary or a quarterly or an annual, I pay myself annually, actually. I don't pay myself monthly. If you are not profitable 2 years in, I want you to consider not being in this business. I want you to consider not being in the business of owning a business. If you love travel and you love planning travel, I encourage you to go and join another travel agency. Someone in this community recently did that. They reached out to me and they said, hi, you did our website for Website in a Weekend. We're still not profitable. We're 4 years in. And it's not the website. We don't know how to get traffic to our website. We don't have the money to get traffic to our website. We are booking travel, but the commission that we make just covers the costs. It covers all the fees and the conferences, but we're not really turning a profit. And I answered back, but are you happy doing what you're doing? And they said, we are, we're just not profitable. I said, is it okay if you kept doing this for another 5 years? Would anything bad happen? And they said, well, we would like to make some extra because we are retiring from our full-time job soon. And then I said, so something needs to change. They have gone away and found someone inside of travel marketing and media, inside of our community, and they are now working inside of that agency because that travel advisor has the money to invest in marketing. They have leads coming in. They can't handle the bookings. The business owner doesn't want to be planning travel. They want to be growing their business, networking, going to local events, and they want someone else, but they didn't want someone they had to train from scratch. So they signed a 2-year agreement. Any clients that they work on during that 2 years, they cannot take if they decide to go back to their own agency. They cannot take any intellectual property. They can't take client lists. They can't make copies of it. Like, they figured it out legally. I don't even know all the details. But they found themselves a home with another travel advisor that they knew from our community that they met on a sailing. And they just said, this works for us. I know another travel advisor who is 6 years in, and she wants to specialize in river cruising, but she hasn't sold a river cruise yet. And I said to her, do you know what? I know you've invested a lot of money, but at this stage, there are people in our community that have more inquiries than they can deal with. Go and get the experience working for another agency. Watch how they generate traffic. Watch how they drive leads. Watch how they do everything. Contribute, sell travel, get that experience booking river travel. Because right now you are a student of river cruising, but you don't have the actual experience. You've been to 3 river cruise expos. Okay, so I have to ask you, you don't have to tell me, but what is it that triggers you if you feel this way? If it's low business and it's a period like it was for me in 22, 23, I knew that I just needed to see a profitable 24 and start paying myself again, and I would come out of it, and I did. Or if it's the mean girl squad, because it's always women, unfortunately, who get under my skin in this business. It's never the men, it's always women. I wanted to know, how long does it take me to recover from that? I haven't found a way to let it slide off. I literally had it yesterday. Wasn't in tears, but felt like it because of one person and the way that one person showed up in our inbox. Just didn't need to be like that. And I wanted to write back and say, please, for the love of God, actually, maybe now's a really good time to say it. I've not been able to say this ever, but because it's on topic, run your responses through ChatGPT when you have any emotion other than happiness. If you have even the smallest bit of frustration and you think you're writing a polite email, run it through ChatGPT, because that email that you send could break a relationship. I have run emails through chat where I thought it was polite, or I've read them out to, I have a good friend, Glenda Beagle in the industry, where I'll say to her, Glenda, is this rude? And she'll say, Sandra, that's very rude. That's very defensive and it's very rude. I'll be like, oh, okay. We now have chat. We have chat to make us say it the way that it needs to be said so that it's still clear, it's still firm, but it's respectful. Okay. So figure out what your trigger is, figure out how long it takes you to come off of it. Yesterday, I'm getting so much stronger because yesterday, that very rude email, I actually was able to maneuver through it in about 20 minutes and then move on and forget about it. Previously, some emails have kept me in a very dark space for weeks. weeks, right? The competition stealing my work used to have me in knots, sleepless knots at night. And now I don't see it because I blocked them all. And if it's inside our community that someone starts someone, we just remove them from the community because it's in our terms and conditions. We remove them from the Facebook group, we remove them from our email list, and I just move on. And if I hear about it, I'll tell my team, hey, can you all check into this travel advisor? It looks like she's doing travel marketing now. Somebody said it looks like our Pinterest course, or it looks like whatever, or there's a big agency out there that actually just copied all our website layouts. They're very popular in the industry now. I just have my team monitor it. And I think our attorney is sending them a cease and desist shortly, but I'm not involved on a day-to-day basis. So that is what I would say. Let's see here. I want to read out some of these. I think this is Tracy. I completely understand where you're coming from, Shelley, as sometimes you've got to pause and reconnect with your why. At the end of the day, making decisions that support your personal well-being. And what she means by why is why you even want to do this. Because if you want to do this because it's fun, keep doing it. If you want to do it because you love doing free things for your friends and family, or you love your friends and family busting into your text messages asking for help, and you just love being of service to them. I do know somebody in our community who just books friends and family for free, and she makes a small amount of commission, but she loves serving her friends and family. And she's like, well, at least I'm making commission now. Then do it. But if you want to do it to make money and it's not making you money, you really do have to reassess. Bianca, no, not Bianca. Bianca says, I have many times. This is a rough journey. And I look at Bianca as someone who's just got all her stuff together. Okay. Let's see. Laurie says, a few times when you don't have any future bookings, you wonder how to get the clients you want and how it will pay your bills if this is your only job. Yeah, Laurie, honestly, my friend, I have felt that so many times. I feel that consistently at different times of year. Rebecca says it's really hard some days and some people can be mean and very, very selfish. That's it. Okay, I'm going to just see if there's something here that I want to sell. Shelley says, thanks to everyone. I have quotes to do, but just look at it and not proceed. Your love for it has died. So I would try and figure out, Shelley, what is it that triggers those feelings? It might be that you simply don't want to do specific tasks in your business. I actually can relate to that because I used to look at the inbox and not want to reply to emails. And that's a terrible thing, but it's like not wanting to play with your kids. It feels like a terrible thing to say, but sometimes you just don't feel like it because you're exhausted. I decided to hand over the tasks that I didn't want to do to someone who does them with much more ease and grace and patience than I could, even though both of us had the same intention. So it might be that you hand over that part of your business to someone else, that you have a partner. Jamie says, I have a lot of triggers. How I come out of it and move forward is to remember why I'm in this, why I chose to start my business. It's so important and personal to me. I like that. I think it's Tracy says, I agree. If I don't make money, it doesn't make sense. If you don't make dollars, it doesn't make sense. That's it. Shayla says, glad to mention the leads because I have 63 new leads from Facebook ads that are ghosting me. What do you do about that? If your ads are ghosting you and you've got 63 new leads, if they're not there, so they're in your email list, are they opening your emails? Are they clicking on your emails? Because that's not ghosting. What is your definition of ghosting? Laurie says, I do that in ChatGPT before I respond to people. Thank you, Laurie, because you're one of those people that I could never imagine getting an email like that from, because I know who you are, like who your heart is, but also because you run things through chat. David says, you could fire the mean girls. I don't believe in firing clients because I feel like they hire you, they pay you, so you can't fire them. But I do believe in removing people who are not good for you. And so we have done that. We've had steps to do that. Sometimes we're in a commitment with them and there's not a breach of contract. It's just a breach of manners. I said that to my dad and he laughed. He's like, I love that. There's no breach of contract, just a breach of manners. So we see at the end of our contract and then we're honest with them. We say that we don't feel like it's a good fit for us and it's not a positive work environment, and we give them a referral. Low sales is my trigger. I hear you on that one. Low sales being your trigger. So those are the things that we have to ask ourselves. Am I better off if I love the planning of travel? Am I better off working with someone else in an agency where I can just book travel using the leads that come through? Okay. Linda says, I love how you are so real and share your struggles as well. It means a lot. Oh, Linda, you're so welcome. I think it's very easy to see me on TV or on Instagram or on these videos and think, oh, she makes it look so easy. She makes it look so easy. I think it's very easy to do the math. Oh, I have an eyelash come out. Is that good luck or bad luck? Oh, it's not eyelash, it's a piece of carpet. For those of you, a lot of you think that my life is very glamorous and very easy. And I have to say, for the most part, it is. It's a beautiful life that we have built. And it's not, the problems that I have are nowhere near, I call them first world problems. They are nowhere near problems that I know that other people have. A woman in our community just lost her child in a drowning in a local pool at a swim class with a swim instructor. I cannot get it out of my head. It happened recently, and every night I go to bed and I lie there and I think, I wonder what that mom is doing right now. Like, I just can't. There's another woman I follow on Instagram. She lost 2 children in the space of a very short period of time, like I think within a year. And one of them took their own life and one of them was in a motorbike accident. Can't imagine. Can't imagine. I watch her. She comes up on my feed every day. Don't know what to say to her. I never say anything. I just watch her and I feel for her, and I feel like I'm trying to be there for her without knowing, because there's lots of people saying a lot of things. If no one was saying anything, I would say something. But there are many, many mothers who've lost their children and they all comment, and I just think, oh my gosh. So that being said, yes, I do share my struggles because I don't ever want you to think that business ownership, that marketing, that travel, that any of this is easy. It's simple, but it's not easy. It's simple, but it's not easy. Okay. Shayla says, and then I'm going to go back, Jamie, and find your thing. Shayla says, these are people who responded to my paid Facebook ads. I've emailed, called, texted them, and no answer. Some have opened the email, but no answer. My friend, I'm going to kick your cute booty here. Your expectation of someone who comes out of a Facebook ad is too much. You just want to bring them into your world. You want them to receive your weekly or biweekly emails. You want to plant seeds. You are the date that is a little too intense, and they're not going to want to keep dating you. I went on a date when I was looking for Anthony. I went on a date, because that would be weird now, wouldn't it? 10 years in. I went on a date with someone who was like, so let's talk about like money. Like, how do you think that husbands and wives should share money? And it was a first date. Now I get that this brother was probably looking to see where my values are. And probably he's been in a situation directly related to that topic that he's like, I'm never going to make this mistake again. Whichever side he was on, I don't know, because I didn't get that far. I didn't get to a second date, actually. And I just remember thinking, whoa, dude, that's intense. Let's talk about hobbies. Let's talk about music. Let's talk about why Lauryn Hill's always late for her concerts. Like, let's talk about easier things. That was really intense. So for your Facebook ads, what you want is for people to come into your community, join your email list. That's it. Because then you need to do your middle of funnel work. Getting them in was your top of funnel. The middle of funnel, remember what I said. Every time, maybe I need to do this exercise real quick just to remind you. Real quick. How long, everybody in the chat, real quick. How long was it from when you first saw my face or heard my voice to when you spent $1 in my business or more? How long was that? For some of you, it was very quick. For others, it was not. I had someone the other day jump on a call with me, and she said, I heard a rumor. Have you moved from an educational coaching agency into a full marketing boutique? And I said, yes. Take my money. But the way she did it, she came so close to the camera, and I went back like this, and she's like, oh my gosh, I'm too intense. I'm sorry. She said, I've just been waiting for what feels like 8 years for you to say this because I have hired people, fired people. We were just about to hire a junior marketing coordinator at $50,000 a year. And I know I'm going to get what I paid for at $50,000. I'm not getting a chief marketing officer. And why was I telling you that? Oh, she's been in my community for 8 years, hasn't bought anything, hasn't done any courses, she's been sitting waiting for this, sitting waiting for her person. Okay, so Shayla says it was probably a week or two, so fast. Barbara, 2.5 years. Renee, 6 months. David Lash, about a month. Linda, 3 to 6 months maybe. Joanne, 9 months to 1 year. I think it's Tracy. Elite Travel, I think so. 1 year, Elite, 1 year, okay? Jamie said it took me 24 to 36 hours to give you my money. I've been giving it to you since then, and that was 2019. My point exactly, and my friend, beautiful Nelson, 2 years. You need people in your middle of funnel until they don't want to be in your middle of funnel. And they'll either leave or they'll drop down into the bottom of funnel and give you money. And you have to be okay with people being in the middle. You don't want that when you're dating and looking for a life partner, people just to be sat there like taking up your time and taking in, having your company. But you definitely want that in a business. This is literally somebody who is going to do our marketing atelier service. I don't want to tell you about it, but I will tell you that it is of significant investment on a monthly basis. It's a 4-figure monthly investment. We'll be taking over an enormous amount. We'll be doing her blogging, her email marketing, her Pinterest, website updates. She'll have one-on-one coaching every month with me. She'll be able to text me. And just with random quick questions, she'll be able to text me and I'll respond back to her. And it's me she's texting. And she has not spent a cent in 8 years. And she's about to go into this. And it's a 12-month partnership. And I said, you have to understand that. And she said, I'll be annoyed if you leave after 12 months or you change to do something else. She said, we need this. And the total cost was less than what she was going to pay for a junior marketing coordinator that she would have to train. And she gets our whole team. She gets 5 of us working on different parts of her business and text access to me whenever she needs it. So that is your answer, my friend. John says, I was lurking for 4 years and I've been shopping with you ever since. I love that. That's my one of the day. Okay, so she says, ha ha ha, you're so right. I'm intense. However, I did put them all into the email sequencing kit and leave them there. Let them be in the email sequence and leave them there. Stop being the guy that's talking about marital finances on the first date. I love you, but that's too intense. It's your Latina, it's your fire. It's one of the things I love about you. Okay, so I want to go back to Jamie and answer hers. I know she does celebration lifestyle. Oh, wellness travel she wants to add. I wouldn't say that they fight each other. They're not like Mexican fighting fish where they're not good for each other. Those two niches going on the same website. I would say you can put them on the same website. I would say that you should put them on the same website until your wellness travel becomes so busy that it might benefit you having a one-pager website. Your website is stunning and it's a fully built out website, but I would say do a page for wellness and start driving traffic to that page for wellness. Jamie, don't drive traffic to your homepage for wellness. When you start posting, putting ads out there, going to meet and greets, talking about it, sharing blogs, send them directly to the wellness page. Have filtered or categorized blogs just for wellness showing up on that page, right? Go into the All Access Pass, pull out all the wellness blogs, add them to your website and filter them so that they show up just on that page. Create a page that's like almost like a mini homepage inside, and do not drive your traffic for wellness to the homepage. Drive it directly to that page. Then if it becomes big enough, you might decide to have a second website, but it could just be a one-pager with a blog behind it. Okay. I feel like there was one person's question that I wanted to know more about. Oh no, I got it. Okay. Oh my gosh, friends, it's 10:01. We did our full hour. Okay. So I want to ask you, what is it? Oh my gosh, I love it. The lurking comment. What is it today that is your biggest takeaway? Can you tell me in the chat? What is your biggest takeaway from today? What is your biggest aha moment? Okay. Your biggest aha moment. Just do hashtag best moment or just write it out. I want to know What is it that you heard today? I don't think anybody heard anything they didn't know, but maybe you are excited by something. Maybe something fired you up. Maybe you got clarity on something. Yeah, tell me in the chat, what is your biggest aha moment from today? All Access Pass, we'll email it out. Everybody's getting an email about it, probably on the weekend, I would say. Rebecca says, I need to learn how to filter those blog articles for a specific page. Rebecca, can you shoot the girls an email, hello@travelmarketingandmedia.com, and we'll just give you the step-by-step. If you're on Wix, which you are. Yes, you are. Send us an email. We'll help you with that. Don't worry. You don't need to sit and figure that out. It's not difficult at all. It's really fast. If you categorize your blogs in the beginning, you might have to go back and recategorize them, but that's something you can do sitting down watching TV. Barbara says, maybe I should leave the business. Maybe. Or maybe you should work in an agency under somebody that you respect and admire and like. And then you get the joy of being able to book travel and make commission, but not the stress of running a business. You all signed up for two big stresses. One, a sales job that's disguised as a service job. Yeah, that's what I said. You sign up for a sales job that's disguised as a service job. And two, for running a business, an actual business. That's a lot of stress. Melissa says it'll be amazing to check out the new services. Amazing. I'm glad that you're happy. David says the service I need is coming. I can't wait to see what the menu includes. Great. Takeaway, Kashayla, is add my fees back to my website. Yes, ma'am. Linda says realness. Biggest takeaway today. Yeah, you got to be real. You have to be. Especially in this world. That being said, my dentist is super real and super herself, and that didn't end up well for me, but it's probably going to end up good for both of us in the long run. Joanne says, it's okay to evolve my business. Oh my gosh, do you know how scared I was to tell you all that news? That we are transitioning from what everybody knows us as a coaching, travel marketing, coaching, business support, educational agency into a full service marketing agency. We're still going to keep our courses. You'll still be able to sign up for them. You'll still be able to self-pace through them, but that's not our business anymore. We've gone directly into services where we are accountable for providing results and taking the work off of your plate, off of your shoulders. And that was so scary for me to tell you, because my fear, how crazy is this, was that y'all would see me as not being successful anymore. And, oh, she mustn't be making any money doing that. Maybe nobody wants that anymore. Maybe it's not good enough. Or maybe there's better people out there and she's had to move to something else, when it's actually not the case. I've always wanted to be a full service marketing agency, but I never had the right team. And my team is magical. I've never had the right processes. I've never had the right technology. Like the fact that I can use AI to write code for me, I can't write code by myself. It's made my life so much easier. The fact that I can do so many things faster because I have different tools available. We're not talking about ChatGPT or Claude or anything like that. We're just talking about tools to manage my time. Allows me to be able to do that. Okay. Best moment today is that I am not alone in what you said about tasks. Yeah. Some tasks would trigger you to give you that feeling. And then there are some tasks on your list that you don't need to do those anymore. I can't check our inbox anymore because I'm so scared every time I open HubSpot. That's what we use for our emails, like a ticketing system. I am so scared. When my team tags me, I get scared because I know that it's going to take me directly to the email that they want me to look at and help them with, which is fine. I go in, I read it, I write my comments so that the team can answer it. Sometimes I do this while I'm reading, or I cover up the screen so I can't see the inbox, because all it takes is caps and exclamation marks or certain words that trigger me. And you heard it from Anthony. Sometimes it's been so bad that he's wanted me to stop. He wanted me to quit. Is it possible to complete the Pinterest course you offered back in May? I teach technology and engineering to middle schoolers and enjoy doing the marketing work. I just set up my email marketing. Yeah, just email us, Joanne. You'll still be able to sign up for courses. You'll still be able to do them. We will still have them available because we know that not everyone can afford to get Pinterest done for them. The ones who are getting it done for them now are like, oh my gosh, wow, y'all are pinning 6 times a day for me, 52 weeks a year, 365 days a year. Amazing. That's not everybody's reality. So we have to keep the education there for people who need to DIY until they can afford to do it. So yeah, absolutely. Best moment. It's okay to take a step back and revisit your why. And we all experience leaving the business at some point. And there is nothing wrong with leaving the business. You might be not leaving the industry. And also, don't make these decisions quickly. Make a decision, write it down, and then leave it and don't act on it. I'll tell you one really last piece of very, very personal experience. During the pandemic, Anthony and I really struggled in our marriage. It was right after Houston was born, because he was born 5 months exactly to the day before we went into lockdown. And at one point, like in that year of the pandemic, we considered co-parenting. We had started having conversations about co-parenting and living separately, and about what divorce would look like. I had severe postpartum that went unmedicated for 2 years. That was so strong that I didn't want to be here anymore. I didn't want to be married, and I also didn't want to be here. And we both went into therapy, and we made ourselves a deal. And we said, let's not make bad decisions in bad moments, or let's not make big decisions in let's not make big decisions in bad moments. So we said, no matter how rough it gets, we're not going to decide on divorce until after the pandemic. Do you know how glad I am that we didn't do that? I am so in love with my husband. My husband is so in love with me. We just had a rough patch. And imagine if we'd have been so reactive and done that to Houston, or done that to ourselves. Y'all, it took me 35 years to find him. You don't get out like that. My mother said to him when we got married on the day of the wedding, she said, Anthony, in my culture, my mom's from the South Pacific. She said, in my culture, we don't have divorce. We only have funerals. I was like, Mama, that's so rude and ominous at the same time. Don't make big decisions in bad moments, because the moments are temporary, but sometimes the decision is permanent. So that's just a big example. Very vulnerable today. Oh my gosh, spilling all my tea. Thank you for your therapy session today. This is meant to be business coaching, not therapy, but I really do think that business coaching sometimes involves an element of therapy. I'm not a licensed therapist. Please do not take mental health advice from me. Take business advice from me, because I very much can relate to whatever it is that you are going through. Thank you. Sandra says, we all have times of struggle, got to figure out solutions. You do, because the alternative is quitting. And I think Eleanor Roosevelt was wrong, or people take her out of context when people are like, never give up on your dreams. No, some people should give up on their dreams and get a new dream and work towards a new dream, because sometimes our dreams are not a fit for our skill sets. Sometimes our dreams, the odds are just stacked against us. Katniss, I just watched The Hunger Games again. The whole 3 movie, I don't know why. The odds were not stacked in her favor, right? But she managed to push through. I would have quit. I would have found myself a spot in the forest to hide. I would have not wanted to play that game. So it's okay to quit on your dream and start a whole new one. I am so excited that we have our sister agency now. Please send all your business owner friends to me. I'll send you an email with the website and everything. It's all ready to launch, but I'm excited to work in non-travel businesses. I want to stretch my brain. You know, people want to stretch their legs on a flight. I want to stretch my brain to things outside of travel as well. Okay. Jamie says, yeah, because you're 45 and still trying to be a rapper, you need to give it up. Exactly. There are just some things that we have to let go of. Okay, I'm going to let y'all go. Shayla says, thank you for another wonderful session. You are so welcome. Joanne says, thank you. Renee says, I think what you're doing is a huge step up and something people have been begging for. Well done. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh, it was Paris, not Tracy. She says, thank you for the open conversation. I'm excited for your growth. I'm so scared, y'all. But I know it's exactly the right thing to do, because we've been sitting on this for a couple of years, and pushing through when you need to quit one dream and start another one is the best thing ever. Okay. Love y'all. Have a great rest of day. I'm going on to continue the rest of the longest summer of my life. He finished school May 2nd. He's not going back till September 2nd. Get ready for the kindergarten spam. I will be posting it. I've dreamt my whole life of the day where I'd have a little one going to kindergarten with the board first day. Send any advice you want, put it in the chat. I'm open to it. What do I do with these summers? Why does a child have such a long summer? All right. Love you all. Talk to you later. Bye for now.